to talk about email marketing and social media today and how to communicate with your members and your audience. I'm Abigail Grossman, and I'm the APWA Marketing Specialist. And Charlie?
And I'm Charlie Arena, APWA Public Affairs Manager out of our DC office.
Okay. I seem to be having the same problem Andrea was having. Tammy, are you able to move my slide by chance?
No, they're coming from your machine, so I would not have that capacity. But I can share your slide.
I was able to do it when I wasn't sharing my screen. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not able to move the slide. Oh, there it goes. Was that me? Okay. The importance of email and social media communication, and just communication in general. A few bullet points here. We have grow and maintain your chapter, strengthen relationships with your members and your followers, your audience, drive attendance for chapter events, anything you have going on that you need to get the word out about. Email and social media is great for that real-time current communication. Any like revenues, fundraising, conferences, anything like that, to deliver content and experiences and reach audiences outside your chapter. Okay, here are some of my favorite email best practices. So use images and videos everywhere you can. We get at least a 25% open rate when images are the first thing in your email, the first thing that the recipient sees. It's eye-catching, it's visual. Same goes for video. We see an even higher open rate with video. And you're able to also measure that engagement a little bit better when people click out to a video on your YouTube channel to watch. Another one is spend time writing a quality subject line. A lot of the time we get fixated on perfecting the copy of our email when really the subject line is what's going to get them to open it in the first place. So the goal of that email is for them to open it, and so that's where they'll see the subject line first. I recommend really focusing on that. And then also the right timing. It's kind of hard to know exactly when the time is right. We like to advise between Tuesday and Thursday. Monday, people are flooded with emails, are probably really bombarded. They might set aside your email and think to come back to it, maybe forget. And then Friday, people are on weekend mode. So Tuesday and Thursday is kind of the general rule of thumb. And then Sunday, we used to, stay away from sending emails out on the weekend, but we sometimes like to experiment with Sunday because people tend to get on Sunday afternoon and catch up on their work email so they don't feel behind. And so Sunday is a good day, we think. So if you can, jot down this link, or I think you'll get this presentation afterwards, but it goes through all of the really great free email platforms to use, ratings and reviews, the summary, the pros and cons of each. For upgrading options, you can see a pricing breakdown, list and targeting capabilities, all kinds of stuff. So we really recommend this link if you're needing some ideas for email platforms. And here are some more of those, just visual for you. We have MailChimp, Benchmark, Constant Contact, SendPulse, Sendinblue. And then APWA uses Informs. That's like Inform and then with a Z at the end. That's not a free one. It's pretty robust, but it's a really great tool, and we really like it. So. Canva is also another great one for infographics. If you need to add words to your photo, Canva is a great free tool to be able to do that. If you're reporting on metrics or giving some kind of slideshow. Canva is a great visually appealing resource that's free, and it has so many great options. You can pick through stock photos, font, coloring, all that kind of stuff. So, and I am not by any means a graphic designer, so Canva's nice because it's an easy to use tool. It really walks you through all the steps. So I recommend this one. And then here's some stock photography resources. We have Unsplash, StockSnap, Pixabay, Pexels, Google. These are really great if you just need to pull a general image. Like if you're tweeting something out and you want to add a construction image with it, go out to any of these stock photography free resources and you'll be able to pull any of those photos. Like on social media, it is really good to have a photo with your caption. So we recommend these resources. And then other great resources, Jared might have talked about this on Tuesday, but Really Good Emails is our favorite. It's a free website. You can go out and type in any type of email that you need inspiration on. If you're like, okay, I want to market this book or this publication we have coming out, or this really great first responder hoodie. I'm just using some of my examples, but Really Good Emails shows you some great ways to do it, and how to design templates, how to incorporate photos, how to incorporate good messaging. It's a great tool if you need some email inspiration. HubSpot is another one. HubSpot is just a great marketing tool in general. It has all the information. Infogram for good infographics and charts and maps, and then Easel. Okay, now on to social media. Any questions about anything I just went over with email? I can't see the chat right now, but I will look at the end.
You're doing okay.
Okay, cool. So 5 of the big social media platforms here, we have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. So just a general overview. Twitter is more real-time conversation, kind of that back and forth. You can see it in an instant. It's more about connecting with ideas and concepts, whereas Facebook is more networking with people you know. You're able to read someone's long caption with no character limit. So Facebook is a good one for more of those personal connections. We have YouTube for video, Instagram for photos, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the fastest growing social media platform right now, and it's more of a professional tool. My dad uses it like it's Facebook, so it's you can be personal on LinkedIn too, but it's more for like professional networking, that type of thing.
All right, thanks, Abigail, for taking all that on. That was a great little overview. And just for everyone's awareness on here, I run our Twitter account out of the DC office, APWA Gov Affairs. So when Andrea referenced that earlier, if you already took the time to go click on over to our feed, our account, and scroll through, those came from these fingers, right from this laptop. So go take a look at that. It has all of our information, what's going on in our government affairs department, what's going on legislatively and with regard to regulations on Capitol Hill. So with that, I'll dive into just some advice and ideas for social media. So the first thing you always want to consider is who is your audience. And when you're using social media, specifically Twitter, like Abigail just mentioned, you're putting out concepts, you're talking about ideas, you're talking about current events, news, things that are going on. So that really is going to hit everyone. So my short answer is everyone. And then long answer is you're still reaching out to, even if you're going to target specific demographics or specific groups, that message that you put out there is still going to be visible for everyone to see. even if you have a private account, you or your agency, which I would not recommend for public works departments, as you want everyone in the community to have easy, ready access right to your feed to see everything that you're posting, what's going on. So you really need to make sure that your account is open and available and everyone will be able to see what you're posting. Even if it doesn't necessarily impact them, it's great for them to see that, oh, okay, we're gonna have low water pressure. Later on in the day today, I'm not gonna be home, but that's good to know. So I can text my son and let him know that, oh, if he tries to get something out of the tap, this might be going on. Abigail just mentioned that LinkedIn is the fastest growing social media platform. And this is specifically for Facebook, but we see this across social media platforms, that older users, those in the 65 plus demographic, are the fastest growing on Facebook and really across platforms. So these are going to be people who, they might not be working anymore, so they're going to be sitting at home and they might be more cognizant of what's going on in their community, public works wise, and then checking their social media to let you know if there's a pothole that hasn't been filled, or they saw public works guys out, cleaning the streets or trimming trees. So you really want to make sure that the messages that you're sending out there, they're accessible to everyone and that they're understandable to everyone. Next slide, Abigail. Thank you. So like I just said, it's often the first place that members of the public, media, elected officials, really anyone are going to check, for these updates and things. Of course, you want to keep your website and your normal news channels updated and with containing that information. But social media is great, especially among younger people. We're just going to go on and check. Like I know if there's a helicopter flying above me in DC, I'm going to go on Helicopters of DC, the Twitter account. And see what that's for, what's going on, and normally it's always right there, readily available. And especially right now with the quarantine measures, I know most of those have passed, but some have come back into effect, across the country. But with COVID-19, people are spending 47% more time on social media, and that is, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm spending half of the time that I was already spending on social media more on it, that's a lot of time. So you got to make sure that you have a presence on social media and you are getting your messages out there. And what I've said earlier about even if the news that you're putting out doesn't necessarily directly impact them, it will still help them trust your agency. So it enables you to build public trust in your agency, raise its profile, and demonstrates influence by broadcasting your efforts, both individually and then with local organizations. So if you're working, if you're collaborating with someone on a local project, it's great to put that out there as well. All of that information is good and useful. Thank you. So just some quick tips and tricks. First, we're going to go over using hashtags. If you all are familiar with the, I know it's some insurance company, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but it's the, getting older people used to technology. So it's a guy up on stage and they go, what are hashtags? Is that what I click to submit something? So we'll go over that real quickly. We'll go over how you provide that quality content that I talked about. And then something that's a little bit unique, and I see this a lot in people who are hesitant to jump into social media, and that's responding to comments, especially the troublesome commenter. So what is a hashtag?
Okay. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Abigail. So I was actually just gonna say this was, she came up with that, and that was fantastic. So if you want to take that, go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say that hashtags help create real-time conversation and allow others who are interested in the topic to find the content and share it quickly and easily. So a lot of the times people will ask me, what kind of hashtag can we create, or what should our hashtag be, or, what should I hashtag? And really, it can be anything. If you look at your caption and you think, what's the point of this message that I'm trying to convey? Water, throw a hashtag in front of water. Anybody who's interested in water or needing to learn more about water can just go on and search that in LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and pull up all of that conversation that's being had about water. So another way is you can develop your hashtag. Like over the years, APWA has developed our PWX hashtag. So each year, people know it's PWX and then the year. So PWX 2021. And sometimes that takes some time for people to get used to. But if you're just starting out on social media, hashtag public works, hashtag water resources, hashtag, if you're curious about PWX at home, hashtag, search that in the search bar, and you'll have all of that information that will come up for you. Anything else on that, Charlie, that I missed?
I would just say that and using a hashtag in a tweet, one that you send out, it makes it super easy for us, at APW, whether it's Abigail on the Kansas City accounts or me from the DC account, it makes it super easy for us to find, what we're looking for. So if you tweet an issue, or us or anyone, whoever you want to see the hashtag. So if you're tweeting at your local public works agency, and you want them to see that there is, like I said earlier, an unfilled pothole right on your street, you can hashtag public works, and that public works agency, they will most likely be searching for the hashtag public works, and they'll find that and be able to go in and fix the pothole, fix the pipes, whatever it is. So
yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of like in the muck of everything going on social media, there's so much content out there. So hashtags are really good to just help you help your post be seen.
Real quick, Abigail, just because I saw a question pop in here. So how do hashtags help a person search? So what it does is it essentially takes what Abigail just said, where everything's a muck on social media. You jump on and everything's hitting you all at once. You're able to, so she has the APW hashtag thing up right now. So you just go up to your search bar, you type in hashtag PWX 2021, and every tweet that has PWX 2021 is going to appear. So you'll be able to scroll through all of them and then pick and choose which ones you want to interact with, or if you were looking for one in particular and you found it, great. Same thing for Show for Snow, same thing for National Public Works Week, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. And here are some of our main APWA hashtags. You can see right here, and to the right we have some examples of how they're used. So during National Public Works Week, we see a flood of tweets during that week, that third week of May. And so make sure to put a National Public Works Week hashtag on your post so we can see it and share it, and it can be part of the National Public Works Week conversation.
And like Abigail, she actually used it earlier, which was a perfect example. But so we have hashtag water in that one APW Gov Affairs tweet right up there. And that helps us just insert ourselves into those industry conversations. When people are having a conversation about water on social media, or they want to look for conversations about water, they'll type it in and they will find our tweet. So it's really great for promoting the conversation that you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
So quality content, and this is, really when you're getting into the nuts and bolts of social media, and specifically for Twitter from the DC office, it's how can I, in 280 characters, convince someone to engage with what I'm saying? Whether that's they're taking the story to heart themselves and then acting on it in real life, or they're engaging with it on social media, whether that's through a like, a retweet, a favorite, a comment, whatever that interaction is. So like Abigail mentioned earlier, pictures and videos are the number one thing you want to use to create that engagement. So 49% of people watch more than 5 videos a day, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I remember when I first saw that, and then I sat there and thought about it. I'm like, I probably watched five videos right before I got on this call. And then it's going even a step further as we continue to, exist in this virtual environment and move forward with technology permeating, every community. So online videos are going to make up more than 82% of all consumer internet traffic in 2022. So it's more important than ever to really get yourself yourself used to using video and creating those conversations with video. But other things that are great to include in tweets that provide that quality content are upcoming events, tools and resources, like we've talked about, engaging current relevant discussions, sharing relevant news, and highlighting chapter activities. So obviously those could be a great deal of many things, but there's one I want to focus on, and that's engaging in current relevant discussions. So this example I have over on the side here is from a solid waste management professional, and he's just sent these 3 tweet outs just to let people know how he was feeling, what was going on in the profession right now due to COVID-19, due to the pickups that they have to make right now, when in the beginning we weren't totally sure if it was safe. And I'm not sure if you can see, but he got a great deal of many likes and retweets on this, and that's because it was personal. So his tweet showed empathy, and he projected this mindset, of public works, we are the first responders. It includes that, and it shows people that even when things are unsafe for them and most people are locked inside their homes, they're still out there. Solid waste guys and all public works professionals are still out there providing these essential services that all of our communities need to keep on writing. It shows why that public works is the backbone of every community. So that's just a great example of engaging in a current relevant discussion and providing a great an inside perspective on what's going on, and it alerts the rest of the world. So is 450,000 people to what he actually deals with day to day as a solid waste professional.
Mm-hmm. And then this is always an example I like to use. Barry Sheff is the Water Resources Technical Committee Chair. He posted this on LinkedIn, I think it was like a year ago, but he used a lot of hashtags, and he tagged each person who he was talking about in his post. And then this caused all of the engagement that you can see below, comments and likes and shares and stuff like that. So by tagging people, organizations, companies in your post, they will hopefully see that and engage with that.
Yep. On that note, we've made an effort with the new Congress, the freshman Congress members, and our new public policy priorities to tag elected officials, and let them know what's going on, how our water priorities agree with them, or how they can use them in their when they're drafting legislation and such. And they will engage with it. Obviously it's not them directly, it's their staffers who will see it, but they will take that message and bring it to the elected officials. So it's a great way, as our general discussion is about advocacy, it's another great tool for your advocacy outreach.
Mm-hmm.
So the trouble that everyone has when they come to social media, it's what happens when someone disagrees with you, or they don't like what you say, or they don't like how you filled the pothole right outside their street, or how long it took you to do it. So the first thing that I always recommend to do is just recognize what type of comment it is. It sounds straightforward and simple, but that's really what you have to do. You say, is this a complaint? Is it a grievance? Is it a question that they just have generally? Do they want an update on something? Really, what is it? Because that tells you how you have to answer it. But how you answer it, it must be factually accurate, informative, on brand, kind, and most of all, helpful. And I would say the two most important things of that, of course, helpful, but also on brand. You want to be following, your agency's goals and strategic plan, or whatever version of that you have, whether it's a mission statement, a vision statement, just your general marketing outreach. You want to follow through on that. You want to be the brand that you promote in all your traditional media and all your traditional interactions. You want to be that on social media as well. You never want to ignore or delete a comment. So even though it may seem like a negative situation, if someone has a grievance or a complaint about something, and whether it's unfounded or very well founded, it's still a positive opportunity to build trust with the public and be helpful. So if you send a thoughtful response that addresses the individual's concerns and provides facts and data answering their question or direct them to available resources, that reduces the chance that the comment is going to grow to a larger issue. And that's something that you certainly don't want. As we see, many times, I can give you an exact example. It happens a lot with Wendy's in a positive way, but companies and organizations will go viral depending on their interactions and engagement on social media. So if you're ignoring a comment that someone has, whether it's a complaint, they're going to keep amplifying that complaint. Just because you're ignoring it or you delete it does not mean it's going to go away. They're going to probably get angrier, and more people are going to join on their side. And if you don't respond to it, the people who see the original comment, they're not going to know what your position on it is. They're not going to know if you were trying to help or if it's an unfounded complaint from the get-go. And even if you're just saying something like, so I have Caterpillar here on the side, they have a great example of someone coming to them with a complaint, and they say, hey, we hear you, we understand you, can we take this offline for a further discussion? That's a great way to handle it if you're not sure right there in the moment of what the best response would be, or if you don't think you can have a great response, a helpful response of 280 characters, take it offline. That's still, you're taking, it's accountability right there. It's for every other viewer to see that you care. You care about this comment, and you care about all the other people who engage with you on social media.
Yeah, that's a good point, Charlie. It really allows you to kind of flip it and make it into a positive. Those people are following you regardless. And so, you know, you want them to trust you, even if they have negative things to say. You can turn that around and make it into a better situation. Okay, so that is all from us. If we're good on time, we can take some questions. If we're running a little bit over, we can answer them at a later date. Ashley, you can just let me know.